Hello, grade 12. In today's lesson, we're going to be looking at esterification, the synthesis of esters. Now remember this, esters are made out of two homologous series, which is the carboxylic acid reacting with an alcohol. Now you have to remember when we give out the IUPAC name of the ester, we come to the alcohol, we drop the suffix anol, and we replace it with the suffix YL. Then from the carboxylic acid, we drop the suffix oic acid and we replace it with OAte. Now let's look at the example that we have below here. We have our carboxylic acid, it's propanoic acid, and our alcohol is methanol. Now when these two react, they give us our ester, which is methyl propanoate. You can see here the name, the IUPAC name comes from the alcohol methanol, dropping the anol, replace it with YL. Now we have methyl. From the carboxylic acid, propanoic acid, we drop the oic acid, we replace it with OAte. We have propanoate. Now the name is methyl propanoate. Now let's look at the synthesis of the esters. How do the esters come about? We have our carboxylic acid, propanoic acid, 3 carbon atoms. Then it's reacting with our alcohol ethanol. Now when we form an ester, we take the OH from the carboxylic acid and we take the hydrogen atom from the alcohol. The best way to think about it is we'll always take the oxygen from the carboxylic acid because it has 2 of the oxygens, so it won't notice. So it's more like we are taking from the rich to feed the poor. Now, we have our ester forming. That's ethyl propanoate. What happens to this OH and H? They join together to give us our byproduct, water, which is an inorganic compound. Now the functional group that we have here, from this carbon double bonded to an oxygen, joining with this oxygen from the alcohol, is called the ester link. So that's the functional group of the ester. We call it the ester link. Now what is esterification? Esterification is when an alcohol reacts with carboxylic acid in the presence of a catalyst, which is your concentrated sulfuric acid, to give an ester. Now the alcohol is your ethanol with 2 carbon atoms. And we have our ethanoic acid with 2 carbon atoms, that's ethanoic acid. Again, we take the hydrogen atom from alcohol and the OH from carboxylic acid. Now the H and the OH will give us our byproduct, water. Now when these two join together, they form the ester link, the functional group of the esters. Now what is the IUPAC name of this ester? That's ethyl ethanoate. From ethanol, we drop anol, we put YL, that's ethyl. From ethanoic acid, we drop oic acid, we put OAte, and that's the name, ethyl ethanoate. Now you should be careful when dealing with esters. There are safety measures and precautions, and here are some of them. Do not sniff any of these chemicals directly. They can cause respiratory problems as well as irritate the mucous linings of the nostril and throat. In particular, sniffing either methanol or ethanol can cause temporary loss of vision. Sniffing methanol can cause permanent blindness. Concentrated sulfuric acid is corrosive. It's an oxidant and a dehydrating agent. It must be handled with extreme care. Wear gloves to protect your hands. Wear goggles to protect your eyes from the fumes of these substances. And finally, work carefully and respect each other's safety.